Okay, so what we have here are two MacBook boards. They're unibodies, and we have a MacBook here. Not exactly sure what's going on with this one. I haven't opened it up yet, so we'll have to hold that one off till later. But what I was told about these are that they are water damaged. So if we could get a close-up of the board and the proper reflection, we could see right there that that seems to be some kind of water or some kind of it's probably Coke actually, and we can see some of it right here and over here. Now with this board, we can tell that it's actually corroded here and over here and up here and in this area. So what we're going to do is take them apart and then put them in some cleaner and clean them and see what we get out of it and see where it takes us. So now we're going to have to break them down and then go take them to where they're going to be cleaned. Okay, so we have our heat sinks, our speakers taken off, and what we're going to do is put our boards through our wash here. This is our pre-wash. And it's just going to chemically break down what is on the boards. So we'll take a brush and pretty much wash the boards. So we'll take and pretty much take this board and directly put it in here, and then take a brush and clean it off while it's submerged, and do that for each of them. So that's what we're going to do here next, and then we're going to see how it does of cleaning it up and then test it out and see how that goes. Okay, so we have our boards here. They're dried. So what we're going to do is do this one at a time. First board's here, and we're going to take this and hook up this continuity tester to it to test it and see what happens. So what we're going to do is hook it up to a ground, and that's right there, and we're going to take and put our DC jack in, so we get a green light right there, so we know we're having analog signal, and we're going to take and do our keyboard bypass. I've had some, well, loving comments on my YouTubes about this, but it works. So this is a actual jumper method. So we have our fan hooked up, and we'll know that it's working and turning on, which it didn't do before, if we touch this pad and make contact. So that's what we're going to do. So we have a fan, we have it started up, so we know that our clean worked. So that's going to be our first one's done. We know that it's cleaned, we know it's turning on, we know it's working. So now we're going to move on to our next one and see what happens. I'm going to have to set it up and go from there. So before we take this board right here, because we're letting it dry out, we've tested this one, we're going to check this system and see what's going on with it. And per our customer, he says it's overheating and cutting off on him, and very plain and simple, we can tell that the issue resides here. What he has is a cable with no fan connector. So we need to make this fan connector somehow stick to the board. Either we need to salvage a connector to make this work, or we need to hardwire this connector to the board, which is a decision I haven't decided on how I'm going to do it yet. So we know that this was a previous system that was cleaned. I had water damage on it. It was the one that actually had the could not boot past anything, but we know that it worked, and it's been confirmed by our customer, but when he was putting it back together he damaged it, so now he sent it back to us for us to put that fan connector on. So I need to find either a connector to salvage off of a board, or I need to hardwire it in. So that's going to be a few minutes and a decision that I'm going to make, and we'll see where it goes and what I'm going to do. Okay, so what we decided to do was go with the connector. So we soldered the connector on, and now we're going to open up our laptop here and turn it on. So we have the initialization and we have the fan going right here. So we know that that's going to fix our problem, and of course we have everything starting up. So we have a repaired system here. Fan connector's on, fan's turning, and the system's running. So we're going to call this one complete. We'll probably, to keep this from happening again in the future, we're going to do some edits to the system. We'll fix a few things to make sure that it doesn't come off or break. But what we're going to do is take and shut this system down, and we'll call it complete and finished. And we'll say that it's good. Fan's still turning, so we know that everything's good to go. Just changed out one plastic connector for the other and made sure everything was good to go.